Ever heard about, like, a ghost train? But not one haunted by ghosts. One full of gold and treasures, tons of it, that vanished right at the end of World War II.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is too crazy to be true, right?
Well, you're not alone in thinking that, but the story of this Nazi gold train in Poland, it's been around for decades, and it's way more complicated than just a simple legend.
Right. It's like it's a legend, but it's also, well, there's actual history there, too.
Yeah, and you've sent over so much stuff about it, all these articles and notes.
So much stuff. I need help sorting through it all.
Well, that's what we're here for.
So today we're going to, like, really dive deep into the whole thing, the Nazi gold train.
Giant dive it is.
We'll look at the facts, the rumors, and, try to figure out why this story just won't die.
And why it's so fascinating.
Right. Exactly. Like, what is it about this story that grabs people? But we got to do it without getting lost in all the tiny details.
I agree. Keep it clear, keep it concise. That's the goal.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is this legend?
Okay, so the legend says there was this heavily armored train used by the Nazis.
Like a real, military train?
Yeah, a real military train packed with a huge amount of valuables.
Okay, like what kind of valuables?
We're talking gold bars, jewels, maybe even weapons and stolen art, a whole lot of stuff. And supposedly it left Breslau, which is Roko now, as the war was ending.
Trying to get away with all that treasure.
That's the idea. It was heading towards Freiburg in Silesia, that's Schwiebelzeis today, but it never made it to its final stop, Waldenburg, which is now Wabrisch.
So this train just disappeared. Poof. Gone.
Pretty much. Vanished somewhere along that route.
That's wild. So where do people think it went? Any specific theories?
Well, the most popular theory is that the train was hidden.
Hidden. Okay, but where?
In an abandoned coal mine, or maybe in those big tunnel systems under Sioux Castle.
I've heard of that castle. It's supposed to be huge.
It is. And those tunnels were part of something called Project Reese, which was this massive, top-secret Nazi construction project in the Owl Mountains.
Oh, wow. So like real secret Nazi stuff.
Real secret, really big, and nobody really knows the full story, which makes it perfect for these kinds of legends.
Makes sense. But gotta be honest, I'm a bit skeptical.
Understandable.
Is there any actual evidence to support this whole gold train thing?
That's the thing, right? Most historians don't think the train ever existed.
Really?
Yeah, no real proof. No train wreckage, no tracks leading to a hidden spot, and definitely no treasure that can be linked back to this train.
Huh. So it's been debunked? Like officially?
Not officially, no, but the Polish Armed Forces, they searched for it for years, from 1947 to 1989 during the Polish People's Republic.
Wow, it's a long time.
And they found nothing.
So decades go by, the story fades a bit, but then in 2015, it's back in the news. Big time.
It blew up.
What happened?
Two guys, Peter Koper from Poland and Andreas Richter from Germany, they come forward with, get this, a deathbed confession.
No way.
Yeah, they claim this confession tells him where the train is.
Wow, that's like straight out of a movie or something.
Total movie material. So naturally, this gets everyone's attention again. The possibility, the mystery, it all comes rushing back.
Did they just tell everyone where the train was?
No, they played it smart. They went to the Polish government privately.
Yeah. Make it a deal?
Exactly. They said they'd give up the location in exchange for 10% of the treasure's value, a finder's fee.
10%. That's a lot.
It is, if the train's real and as loaded as they say.
Did the government go for it?
Well, it's interesting. The deputy culture minister at the time, Piotr Chowski, he goes public saying Koper and Richter have ground-penetrating radar images showing a 100-meter train, and he says there's a 99% probability it's real.
99%, that's almost certain.
Almost. But hold on, because the governor of Lower Silesian Voivodeship, Tomasz Smolarz, he comes out and basically says, hold your horses.
Oh, what did he say?
He says there's no more proof now than there ever was, that they've seen this kind of claim before, and it never pans out.
So, a clash right from the start.
Oh, yeah, big time. Government officials disagreeing publicly.
So what did Koper and Richter do? Did they back down?
Nope. They went public with their claims, told everyone they'd given the location to the authorities, and even released their radar images.
So they went all in.
All in. The images, they showed what they said was a man-made shaft about 50 meters deep and something inside.
Sounds promising. How did the authorities react?
Well, they went into full-on, treasure hunt mode.
Really?
Yeah, they cordoned off the area around kilometer 65 of the Roka-Wabrice Railway, brought in police, all to handle the crowds.
Crowds? What crowds?
People went nuts. Amateur treasure hunters, folks with metal detectors, everyone wanted a piece of the action.
Wow, gold rush.
Exactly. But then the military got involved.
By the military.
Safety. The governor wanted the area cleared, checked for, like, unexploded bombs, landmines, anything dangerous left over from the war.
Makes sense. You don't want people digging around and getting blown up.
Right. So the military did their thing, declared the area safe, and then the digging could, like, theoretically begin.
Okay, so safe to dig, but do they dig?
Not so fast. The city of Washoe, they brought in 2 teams to check things out.
Like expert teams.
Exactly. One was Coper and Richter, obviously looking at their own data again. But the second was from the Krakow Mining Academy, led by Professor Jonas Madej.
So real expert opinion.
The best! And here's where it gets interesting. Madej's team, they say they found no evidence of a train.
None.
None. They did say there might be a collapsed tunnel, which could explain some of the readings.
But no train. What did Coper and Richter say?
They stuck to their guns. They still insisted the train was there.
Even after the experts disagreed.
Even then, Madej even said, it's human to make a mistake, but it's foolish to stand by it.
Ouch, that's gotta sting.
Right. But still, Coper and Richter, they somehow get permission to start digging.
Really? I'm surprised after all that.
Me too. But they convinced Polish state railways, who owned the land, to let them dig.
Wow, they must have been very persuasive.
They were, and they got funding too. Private sponsors, volunteers. It was a big operation.
How big are we talking?
64 people, engineers, geologists, even a demolition expert, the whole works. And the cost? About 116,000 euros.
That's a serious investment.
It is. But after all that, after a week of digging, they found nothing.
Nothing. Not even a hint of the train.
Nope. No tracks, no tunnel, no treasure.
What about those radar images? What do they say about those?
Turns out probably just ice formations.
Ice? Really?
Yeah, natural ice in the ground can look like a train on radar.
A case closed.
You'd think, right? But here's the kicker. The town of Washoe, their tourism exploded.
Because of the gold train.
Yep. 44% increase in visitors,
Yeah.
millions of dollars worth of publicity.
Wow. All that for a train that doesn't exist.
It's crazy, right? The mayor even thought about naming a roundabout after Coper and Richter.
So they didn't find gold, but they brought gold to the town.
Exactly. The legend, even if it's not true, had real-world consequences.
So did Coper and Richter give up after that?
Not at first. They said they'd dig deeper, but that needed more permits, more money.
That sounds expensive.
It would have been. Then, in 2018, Richter leaves the team.
Oh. What happened?
We don't know for sure. Maybe disagreements, maybe the cost, who knows. But Coper, he kept going on his own.
And did he ever find anything?
He did, but not what you'd expect. In 2019, he's renovating an old palace near Roka and finds these 16th century wall paintings.
Wall paintings.
Yeah.
Like hidden for centuries.
Exactly. They say they're priceless.
Wow, so he was looking for Nazi gold and found Renaissance art.
Pretty ironic, right?
It is. But what about the gold train? Is that it? Is the legend dead?
The thing about legends is they're hard to kill. People still talk about it, still hope it's out there.
So to sum up, we have this legend of a Nazi gold train, lots of searching, radar images that turned out to be ice, a town that got a tourism boom, and some pretty valuable art found by accident.
That's the gist of it, yeah.
It's an amazing story, even if it's, probably not true.
It is, and it shows how powerful these stories can be, how they can affect the real world, even if they're just stories.
Right. It makes you think about what we believe, how easily we get caught up in these mysteries.
And how sometimes the most interesting discoveries are the ones we weren't even looking for.
So the Nazi gold train may never be found, but the legend, that's going to stick around for a while.
Oh yeah, I think it's safe to say that.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets are out there, just waiting to be discovered, even if they're not what we expect?
Now that's a question worth pondering.
It is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with me. It's been fascinating.
My pleasure. Always happy to explore these mysteries.
Until next time, then.
Looking forward to it.